You're on.
Hi everyone, Sarah here from the Paper Cut. It is Tuesday, day 2 of our virtual warehouse sale. Okay, we do this first every time. I can see me. Let's see. Oops, I can hear me too. Okay, we are good. We're ready to roll. So we're just gonna answer questions first before I show the flash sale items. I did remember today to actually turn the flash sale items on before I got here. So I'm going to try not to run away from the screen today like I did yesterday. So because otherwise my mom starts giving you guys stuff. So, which you don't mind. So anyways, she talked yesterday and said that when I was away, apparently she said that she had some Santas and snowmen from her Christmas room that she was going to throw into orders. So we had a little chitty chatty and we decided, so this week we have 5 flash sales and we have comment sold on Saturday. So that's 6 things. So if you participate in 5 of those 6, like you place 5 orders or 4 flash sale orders and a comment sold order, then she's going to put something special in your box. So it might be a little snowman, it might be a little Santa.
La 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 la. I don't have my hearing aids in, so I can't.
Yeah,
I don't know what you're saying.
You can't hear me, but so yeah, we talked about that because she wanted to pass some of them on to you, but they might be small depending on how much stuff you have in your box. Because that was my whole issue, that no, we can't put these things in the boxes depending on how big the box is and how much paper they have. So anyways, so the sale code is TPC25. You need to enter that every time you check out. Your cart doesn't save like it used to because we have the flash sale items. So those are only on from 6 to 9 p.m. They're on the sale page. If you click on the sale page, so on the left-hand side, go down about 4 or 5, click on the sale page. There's a big red box that says flash sale. And then those items are there just for 3 hours or until they're gone. Our website doesn't do inventory really well, so I kind of look at those and keep track, and then I'll turn them off. So hopefully we don't oversell anything, but if we do, I'll let you know. Question.
Is there anything that they have to do before comments sold before Saturday?
Comments sold. You have to be registered for comments sold. I'm going to go ahead and I did a tutorial on comments sold. I believe before the last time we did comments sold. So I'm going to go find that post. I'm going to share it tomorrow. So there will be a whole video on comments sold about registering and stuff. So we'll talk more again about that. Let's get through this stuff about the sale, and then tomorrow I'll post the comments sold video, and then we'll have a little discussion about comments sold tomorrow. So well, yeah, you have to pre-register. That's about it. It's entering your email, it's connecting via Messenger, and then you're ready to go. Just sit there and sold and claim stuff, and yeah. Anyways, so sale code can be used as many times as you want all week long. You do need to close out your carts each night so stuff doesn't disappear. We will combine them, so you don't need to email me and say combine my orders. We're already doing that. We're going to hold all of the orders that have the sale code until after comments sold. We kind of marry everything together, put it all in one box. So even though you might check out every day, you'll pay 5 times, but everything will go in one box. Hopefully, unless you order a whole ton, then it might go in 2 boxes. So yes.
And that sale code is also good at...
Oh, just a minute. We're going to talk about that later. Okay. So yeah, you can check out as many times as you want, but it'll all go in one box. Now, if you checked out and you say, I can't buy another thing, my husband's going to kill me, then you can email me. So email Sarah or info@thepapercut, and you can say, I can't shop anymore, so just go ahead and ship my order, because then we can get some orders out of here ahead of time. So yeah, if you think you're done shopping, go ahead and email me. Otherwise, we're holding all of the orders until after comments sold. So the code is good site-wide on our whole site, minus the class page. Not just the sale items, which right now I only have 1 sale item up there plus the flash sale. I know I said that yesterday. I still do need to get more sale stuff up there. So maybe one day it'll just, bam, all appear. Question.
What time is the sale on Saturday?
Saturday starts at 10 a.m. Before that, I'm going to play a little video. I'm going to go back and do a video of all the comments sold stuff, and then a quick snippet video of how we do what we do. So kind of a tour, but not a live tour. So a tour of the comments sold area. So you might get a preview of comments sold items even before I do them online. So anyways, I think that's it for questions. If there's more questions.
Central time?
Central time, yes. Central time, 10 o'clock Central time. But a live video or a video will start before that. Depending on how long it is, 9:45. I will let you know like the night before about what time that's going to start. Maybe I'll post something on Facebook too. Oh, my mouth all of a sudden got really dry. Hang on. Talking a lot. So let's get on to flash sale items for tonight. Tonight, the theme is, well, we're making Christmas cards with metallics. So the theme for our comment sold stuff is metallics. So we have opal large layering swatches, a pack of 25 because we're using this color on our cards tonight. 25 large layering swatches. These are 4 by 5 1/4. They're normally $5 on sale for $3. Enter the sale code to get 25% off, so it's down to $2.25. The opal 105-pound Star Dream metallic. Then we haven't done this one since 2020. So this is the metallic text variety. So these are the text weight papers. They're not the heavyweight cardstock. These are the 80-pound text. Colors may vary. 10 colors, 10 sheets of each one, 5.5, 8.5. Normally $21 on sale for $14. After your 25% off, it'll be $10.50. So metallic text 100 count variety. Then we have this one I really want to get rid of because we've had these for a while.
How long does Saturday's sale last?
Saturday's sale will probably last about 2 hours because I have a bunch of stuff, maybe an hour and a half. So this is the Astro Silver variety, 25 sheets of embossed. There's 5 different patterns. So the Recio, the Spring, the Reptile, the Laser, and the Wave. The new price is $18.50 with all the price increases that we have, but the old price is $15. Sale price is $9.40. It brings it down to $7.05. So even less than 50% of our old price, but way less than 50% of the new price. So embossed metallic variety. This one, Blue Jewel glitter, I'm using on a lot of stuff, and this has to also do with the make and take card for tonight. 10 count is $16.50 on sale for $12. 25% off, it brings it down to $9. A 10 count 8.5 by 11 Blue Jewel. Then we have some card and envelope packages. So these are 10 metallic cards. It's a combo pack. So this one you get Champagne and Cuba Libre. 10 envelopes. The envelopes are not metallic. They are normally 10 cards, 10 envelopes is normally $7.30 on sale for $5. 25% off brings it to $3.75. So $3.75 for 10 metallic cards and envelopes. And we have the browns.
Is that new one Blue Jewel?
Yes, Blue Jewel. And then we also have a blue pack. This one's shrink wrapped, so this is kind of how they'll come with the envelopes, the cards, and then the other color cards. So this one has the Bluebell, which is a discontinued blue. It was like the prettiest blue for like snowflakes and stuff, and they discontinued it. Now all we have left is scored cards. So you get the Bluebell plus you get the darker Blue Moon. So that's a 5 card, 5 of each one. So 10 cards, 10 envelopes, $7.30 regular, on sale for $5, marked down to $3.75. Then if you purchase $25 in flash sale items, not your total purchase, just flash sale items, you're gonna get our little make and take kit for free. This was one of our make and takes in-house this past weekend. So we made this card. which I did something like this earlier, but you don't have the trees and you don't have the words. So you're going to use your own main image. You're going to use your own words. You get an extra top layer of your 2 stamping layers. One metallic and one non-metallic in case you have trouble stamping. So $25 in flash sale items and you'll get the little make and take kit for free. So I think that's all our flash sale stuff for the day. Our 6 metallic things. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep. Okay. So, any more questions about the sale? Okay, we're going to go down to the table.
You're there.
All right, so everybody else that's with us, or we are doing the holiday stencil class tonight. Now, my mom started saying that, and I talked about it last night, Rubbernecker has their code, but Impression Obsession, that's whose products we're using tonight, they are also extending a code for you. So the code is the same, TPC25, but it's on the Impression Obsession website, which is iostamps.com. Now they'll ship your order. It's not going to come with our order. They're going to ship it separate. Like if you order from Rubbernecker and you use the same, the only thing that's the same is the sale code and the percentage off, and it goes until Saturday. But that's just so it's easy for you guys to remember.
Is the $25 before or after the additional 25%?
It's before. So it doesn't even take much to get to that. Because, yeah, $25 before the additional 25%, just because it's easier for me to add up when I'm looking at your invoices. So $25 of flash sale items and before the discount, and you will get the little make and take card. So pull out your cards. Don't pull them all out of the kits yet. Let's just talk for a minute about how we're going to do this. We have 2 that are brush blended. We have 2 that use Stencil Butters. We are going to go ahead and we are going to do the brush blending first. Then we're going to do the Stencil Butters, and then we're going to go back and we're going to start assembling the pieces and assembling the brush blended ones. Question:
Is the embossed metallic 8.5 by 5.5 or 8.5 by 11?
8.5 by 11. Do I have it wrong? It is 8.5 by 11. I copied the description, so it might be wrong somewhere, but the embossed metallic is 8.5 by 11. The text weights, those are the 5.5 by 8.5. So the text variety is the 5.5 by 8.5.
Text weight variety, right?
Text weight variety. Metallic text variety is 5.5 by 8.5. Embossed metallics is 8.5 by 11. Blue Jewel is 8.5 by 11. The other 2 are scored cards, and then our opal is this large layer, which we're using in class tonight. Okay. Back to here. We're going to start out, we're going to brush blend, then we're going to stencil butter, then we're going to go back and do some of our little assembly type stuff. So I'm going to have you pull certain layers out of your kits while our fingers are nice and clean. So
is one more question. Is the place where you get the stencil butters honoring the code?
No.
No.
That's a retail store, so that's totally separate.
Thank you.
So in this kit that has the black in it, we're going to pull out the top layers for our 2 blue cards. So just pull out the white layer that's in this kit, and then close it up. And then go to your other blue kit, and you are going to pull out the peacock layer. But there is also a white layer in there. So in case you're not doing stencil butters, you have an extra white layer. It's up to you whether you want to pull it out or not. So for the blue, I want you to pull out the white top and for sure the peacock top, but there's also a white one if you are not doing Stencil Butters and you want to brush blend this one. That's what this extra layer is for. And I'm going to put those away. Then I'm going to have you pull out, we're going to go into our poinsettia ones and we're just going to pull out our top layers. So this one that has the red Merry Christmas and the cream Merry Christmas, this is opal. We're going to pull out our opal layer. And in here, there are two sizes of opal. So I had to make it confusing. You're pulling out the smallest one. So in this kit with the red Merry Christmas, there's two sizes of opal. See how I have it double layered on here? We are pulling out the smallest one. The other one is just a layer. So we're pulling out the opal. We're just pulling out our top layers right now so we can do all of our inking, wash our hands, and then start our assembly. So in this one with the gold and the opal Merry Christmas, you're pulling out the antique layer, but there's an extra layer in here, and that is in case there's two opal layers. One will end up being a layer, but if you are not doing the Stencil Butters on that one, you have an extra piece of opal so you can brush blend. So if you're not brush blending, just pull out your antique. If you're brush blending, then you need your opal. But yeah, there's two of them in there. One is for layering and one is just an extra. So then we're going to put all of those kits. So we pulled our top layers out of all four kits. We pulled out, again, our blue. With our black words, we pulled out just a white one. The other one, we pulled out our peacock one. Unless we're not stencil buttering, then you have an extra white. Then we have our smallest opal layer for brush blending and our antique layer for stencil buttering. So we're going to start off with these two. I'm going to set these two aside. I'm going to do brush blending first, and that is, that's so I don't get my stencil dirty with the Stencil Butters. That's why I'm starting out with brush blending. I was going to start out with Stencil Butters just so they had more dry time, but then I would have to go to the bathroom and clean the Stencil Butters off my stencil. So we're starting with brush blending. So we're going to start with the tree because I find that one a little bit easier because the lines are a little bit thicker. So we have our tree stencil. And I'm going to grab some washi tape or removable tape. Now I've got my glass mat out, but honestly for brush blending, I like my paper mat. So I'm just going to cover this up with my paper one. Can they still see that?
Oh, yeah.
Can they see that on the white?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. So I have my white layer. I have my stencil. I am going to hold my stencil down with washi tape or removable tape, up to you. And if you want to just hold it down with your fingers, that's up to you too. But I'm going to hold it down with some removable tape or washi tape. Oh, there was one other thing I was going to say when I was talking. The reset button is not working for my passwords. So usually if you email me or call me, I can just reset it for you. But I'm teaching right now and you guys are all working. So I can't do that right now. So if you can't get in, you can always A, create a new account, or B, check out as a guest. So I've got blue. So I've got a couple different ones from Impression Obsession. I've got aqua and I've got teal. This is the color card. Oh, I used aqua. That was pretty smart of me. I wrote it down on a Post-it note on the back of the actual card. Nice. Because sometimes I forget what color ink pads I used. So for brush blending, I like to hold my thumb behind my brush. I see this a lot where people just tap on it. This one I did use right before in blue, but I don't feel like you get enough ink on it. So if you just are a tappy and you don't get much ink and you're not getting much ink laying down, I actually like to hold my ink pad and push with my thumb and kind of do the same motion to put the ink down or to pick it up. It's the same motion as when I'm putting the ink down. So I kind of load a lot of ink on my brush. But I do see a lot of people just doing this and not getting very much. I like to put more ink on it because I don't want to work as hard to put it down. But drawback to that is sometimes when you start, you get a lot of ink down. But we are kind of brushing across a stencil, so I do like to start off to the side. Even though it's taped down, I still like to have clean hands and hold. So just go ahead and brush blend. Should stay in place, but so yeah, I like to use some pressure to pick up I'm doing it with, intentional. I'm picking up my ink and I'm being pretty intentional about it. But when I taught my in-person classes this weekend, I did see some people just tapping on it. I guess I like to just have a little bit more ink on there. I just feel I get better success. Now, inks on metallic paper could smear. So you don't want to, if you have an ink or a heat tool handy, you can always dry it, otherwise set it aside. You don't want to rub across it like that right after you're done, even though we're just putting it down this way, because it still could be wet. Now, ink on metallic paper is dependent, and dry time is dependent on a lot of things. A, type of ink. Question? Oh.
No, Melinda just said for those that have not done blending before, it does take some practice to really be comfortable doing it. Mm-hmm. I would agree.
I would agree.
Melinda.
Yep.
I'm being silly, but if we buy $50 worth, do we get 2 free kits?
I'm gonna say no, unless I have leftover kits. It depends on how many. So my answer right now is no, but you never know if I'll throw a second one in there. It's not a hard and fast no. It's a no. So now I've brush blended on the whole thing. And you could use 2 shades. So hang on, I'm going to do that too. I didn't do that before, but I could take my teal, which is a little bit darker, and I could go and blend it a little bit. You guys know how I kind of like the ombre effect. You'll notice a difference between brush blending on metallic versus non-metallic. Your inks are going to soak into your non-metallic. On your metallic, it does kind of stay on the top a little bit longer. So you didn't have to do 2 colors, I just did. So you can see my darker trees and then my lighter trees in the middle. So, and that's my card base. So yeah, that's pretty good. So I am just going to set this aside. I am going to take maybe a paper towel and just wipe it off, but I'm going to keep my washi tape on there because we're going to use that again. Okay. So there we have our first brush blended one. You can just set that one aside. Isn't that pretty? With the brush blended ink stenciled on there. Okay, but yeah, with the brush blending you can do a variance in colors. You know, I could have done different colors on it too. Okay, so now we are going to go to our poinsettia. And let me just pull that one out. Okay, so we have our poinsettia. And I just did it on half. And on one of them I did, so it's up to you. This is my brush blended one. I did it just on the left half. This one I did just on the right half. If you like them both better on the right half, knock your socks off. If you want to do it on the whole thing, knock your second pair of socks off. Doesn't matter to me, it's your project. You can position it wherever you want. So I'm going to hold that down with washi tape. I still do have these kits left. And I am by no means a expert on Stencil Butters, stencils. I honestly did not start using them until planning for this class. So yes, if anybody has any tips and techniques that I'm not hitting on, share with the class. Now, I am going to mask, I'm going to mask this off just so I don't brush blend over here. So I'm going to hold it down and then I'm going to use a Post-it note to mask it off. So I'm going to hold it down, and then I like to always keep Post-it notes in my stamp room. So I'm going to mask that off. I'm going to mask the top of it off. There. Now it's protected. And I don't use much, I mean, I use washi tape, not for how it's intended. I use a washi tape for masking and holding stuff down. Is there
a right and wrong side to the stencil?
Honestly, I do not know. If anybody is out there knows the answer to that, please answer. I didn't think there was.
Is one side grippier than the other?
Not on this one.
Okay.
So
what do you clean the stencils with, Sarah?
I just took mine under water. Like I'll take it out to my sink. Yes. And I'll, especially with the Stencil Butters, come right off with water. And then my dye-based ink will come off with water too. So now I have this all set up for doing my brush blending. And I have my cherry ink pad and my cranberry ink pad. My cranberry is a little deeper, my cherry is a little brighter. So I'm going to do the whole thing with my cherry, and then I am going to go back and do some cranberry. And then I even have some brick too. Melinda, on some stencils there is writing on it with the right side. However, you could really use either side. So there we go.
There you are.
So again, now this one has a little bit thinner lines to it than the tree. So you can see that I kind of held it down all around. And you might want to be a little gentler with it so those thin lines don't move. Now you could probably use some type of two-sided tape to also hold your paper in place. I think we have ours held in place pretty good. Okay, then I'm going to go on to my darker shade, which is my cranberry, and then like I said, I do have a brick too.
Dawn Power Wash Spray works great on stencils, especially with glitter stuff.
Okay. With the Stencil Butters, I did let mine dried on there for a little while, and it did come off. So, but Melinda, I think, said that you need to run them under water right away.
Yeah.
Depending on what you're using. So, and I think I have a brick over here too. I might grab my brick. And that might give me a little bit deeper shade too on the edges. Oh. Nope, it's a little different. I don't like the brick on there. Okay. Scratch that. I like the cranberry better.
Warm soapy water works too. Yeah. Thanks. Laura said Ken Oliver said that.
Okay. I've watched Ken, I just haven't watched the whole thing. And he uses the Stencil Butters a lot. So now we can pull this one off. Excuse me. I got a little scratch in my throat. Oh, that one's held in place by some tape. Oh, look how pretty that is. Now there was one really thin line that it did kind of go together, but that's okay. All right, so now this one we're going to set aside. Now we are going to pull our stencil butters out. If you're stencil buttering. If you're not stencil buttering, you can just go ahead and do more brush blending on your top layers. And you can start assembling your Merry Christmas and Warm Winter Wishes, because I do have those piled up. And I did not weed anything, so hopefully that doesn't take too long. So let's go on to our stencil butter. We're going to start with our blue one. And we have our trees, and our tree stencil is right here. Now for the stencil butter for this one, I used the turquoise, and that was a little darker than I wanted when I originally started this, so I did mix it a little bit with the pearl white. So I'm going to tape my, and that just lightened it up. Totally up to you. You could do this one white if you wanted. Again, get your thing placed. And I'm going to mix a little together. And I don't have all the proper tools. So I don't have like the palette and all that stuff. And I was going to grab like a Pampered Chef pot scraper because I think that would work fabulous. But I forgot it at home. So
Improv.
improv, yeah. So I found this knife. Shoot. But I'm going to use sponges too. So I'm just going to mix some of my white with some of my blue. And I don't have an exact amount here. But the blue was a little bit darker than what I wanted. I wanted it to more match the card color. I think I need a little extra white.
Yeah, Melinda used the Stencil Butters this weekend. She said they blended really well.
Mm-hmm. They're like butter.
Are you really using a butter knife?
I am using a butter knife. I think this was like my grandma's butter knife or something.
I think so. It's okay. That'll come off.
So, yeah, it will come off. It'll come off in water. So, yeah, not an exact science. Just mix some white with your teal because I didn't want that dark of a teal. I wanted it a little bit lighter. So, when I first started this with Linda, we started just with taking a sponge and doing a tappy tap. I didn't like it. It didn't fill in enough for me. So there is a whole array of ways to do this. And if you've watched Ken Oliver, you've probably, he's the expert at it. But, so you can take a sponge and just get your Stencil Butters on a sponge. And then you can just do a tappy tap. I liked them to go on a little bit thicker than that. So after I did that, I kind of dragged it. So I did do a tappy tap to start with. But I didn't like, and that does leave a good texture, but for me, for this card, I didn't like that texture as much. But the tappy tap did help get it in those little things, in all the little areas. But then I did kind of drag it across to smooth it out. And again, there is many ways to do this. You can take your, if you have a correct palette knife, and you can spread it across there like that and put it on even thicker. That's going to take a little bit longer to dry. So that's why we're using a sponge, because it's going to dry much quicker. So I'm going to go and take most of that off just because I want it to dry. But yeah, if you use a palette knife, you can put it on there really thick. Because it will dry with some dimension. Okay, I think I have everything. So I'm carefully going to take this off.
Technical terms, yeah. Tappy tap.
Tappy tap, tappy tap. Just in case I couldn't find the butter knife, I did bring one of these handy dandy guys. So I'm going to set that aside to dry. But look at that. So it will dry with some dimension because I put it on there a little bit thicker. Now I did get a little bit underneath right here. That's okay. But look at how pretty that is. So set that aside to dry. And I am going to take, because I don't want to waste anything, I'm going to take and I'm going to put this back into my blue.
Yeah.
Just on the edge.
I'm sorry?
I was just saying I'm putting this back in here, in my
okay.
blue, even though it's lighter. Okay.
It's like squeezing the last bit of toothpaste out.
Yeah, I didn't want to waste it.
Right. And turning the oh.
So I am going to get a paper towel and just wipe this up now so we can go on to our poinsettia one. So, and I know that you can let it dry on your stencil and then just take it and let water run over it and it will wash off. Because I've done it. Along with the
I
sponges.
put the blended into an old medicine bottle that seals tightly. Then
Oh.
I don't have to mix it again.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, now let's get our antique. And again, and this one is on the opposite side. Again, if you are doing brush blending, you have an extra piece of the cream in there and you can do the cream instead. All right. This one, this time I'm off on the other side.
You need some palette knives from VS&S.
What's VS&S?
Valley Scrap and Stamp.
Oh, Valley Stamp and Scrap. Duh.
Duh.
Who said that, Linda?
No, Ellen Ballinger.
Oh, I do need some palette knives from Linda. I'm going to see Linda tomorrow morning.
Well, get some palette knives.
She's going to be live tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. or 8:30 a.m. Linda's going to be live, and I'm going to be in her studio audience. So yes, I'll have Linda hook me up with some palette knives.
Well, I can get nice palette knives when I go to the fast food place.
Yeah.
I got a whole drawer full of those, Sarah.
They're serrated though. Nice smooth ones are
Well,
nice.
use the other side. Both sides aren't serrated.
Oh, that's true.
Oh. Besides, that serrated stuff makes it look fun.
All right. So yes, if you have not caught Valley Stamp and Scrap for their lives, tomorrow morning they'll be live on Facebook at 8:30, and I will be there too.
Well, I'll watch from home.
Okay. And I am going to mask this off. If you don't have Post-it notes in your stamp room, you really need some.
Hey, Sarah, how many of those pads do we have, those Post-it notes?
We have a good amount of them. I buy them in bulk. We buy them in bulk. Okay, so now,
Yeah. Melinda said she used to use spoons and knives from Wendy's before COVID.
yeah, and you put it
And
in.
now they don't put them out anymore.
So I have the crimson and the barn door. The crimson is a little bit lighter, brighter, so I'm going to put that down first. I'm going to kind of do the same thing. But you do have to be very careful about these thin lines, you know, because when you're dragging across, you can push those.
Sarah, did you say that discount code also works for Impression Obsession?
Yes, Impression Obsession, Rubbernecker, and us all have the same discount code.
All
We are
three.
all shipping separately. You cannot combine your orders from Impression Obsession and the paper cut. That won't work. The paper cut, you can, you're checking out, the only thing that's the same is the coupon code.
Ship separately, right?
Right, but yeah, other companies' orders will ship separately. But the coupon code, I said, hey, how about if you make it the same? Because then you all only have to know one coupon code. But I'm using Impression Obsession tonight. I used Rubbernecker last night. I'm using Rubbernecker tomorrow night. Impression Obsession a lot on Friday night.
TPC 25.
Yep. Tell them Sarah sent you. No, I don't think they have a place for that. But isn't there that commercial that says, tell them so-and-so sent you? Okay. So I laid down some of my crimson. And then I'm going to lay down some of my barn door. Now this one I am a little bit more worried about dragging it because I don't want those lines to go together. So this one I am doing a more of a tappy tap, and I might do a light drag over it after I'm done. Oops, this one I got a little bit, probably too much. So I'm going mostly around the outsides with my dark. Maybe a little bit to blend. But I'm going to follow the lines of the poinsettia. Yeah, actually I think I do like the little bit of dabby texture with this one. Okay, now's the moment of truth. I'm nervous. You guys are probably nervous too. All right, here we go.
All right.
First post-it note. Second post-it note. And also make sure your fingers are clean, because I'd be really mad at myself if I just got a big gloober where there's not supposed to be some. Oh, yay! I'm pretty happy with myself. Especially because I'm fairly new at Stencil Butters too.
Drum roll, please. Yeah.
Yep. Okay, now I'm just taking the tape off my stencils and I'm putting them in my little basket that needs to be taken
You
out.
feel like we're watching surgery.
Look at that. Isn't that pretty? I'm going to get my paper towel out. Now, we're going to take a baby wipe break or a sink break to make sure your hands are nice and clean before we go on to assembly. So that's why we did all of the inking first, so then we could go ahead and get clean hands, clean work surface, and then we'll start assembly. All right, yay. I am going to pull my paper mat back up.
Well, look at that.
Is anybody else just as happy with theirs as I am with mine?
Yeah, are you all liking it? It is especially good to use that sponge when the lines are so thin.
Mm-hmm.
The palette knife can move the stencil when you don't want to.
Yes, definitely. But I like the little texture with this one. It kind of like has a velvety type texture with doing the up and down with the sponge versus this one has a more nice and smooth texture with, dragging the sponge across it. So I'm putting those both to dry. I'm going to pull back up my paper mat. We are going to go to some assembly. So we're going to start with our brush blended ones, which are these two. So for kits, you're going to pull out your one with your red Merry Christmas.
Ooh. Melinda said there were people giving hand sanitizers away for free. She loves it for cleaning so many of the stamping supplies.
Oh, nice. I think I
But
have.
does that, sometimes those hand sanitizers do strange things to like leather. I dropped some on a leather chair. Oh, took the color right off.
That's
That's not good.
No. Okay, so we're going to start with our blue one. We have our blue card. Then we have our layers. So we're going to lay down our silver layer and our black layer. And these have tight borders. If you like bigger borders, go ahead and trim. Actually, I think I want to trim my silver so it's a little bit tighter than what I have it. I have a little bit bigger border, but up to you. I'm going to chop a little bit of that off. Or maybe not, depending on if I can find my paper trimmer. So you don't have to do this. I'm just into little borders right now, so I thought I had it cut right, but who knows what. I'm just going to cut a hair off. Like I cut that much off, not very much at all. Don't cut too much off or you end up cutting all your layers. Okay, I gotta make sure my black still fits on there. Yep. Okay, so card, silver mirror card, black. I always like to put my adhesive on the back. I like to kind of line up 3 sides. Oh, it's hard with the black on the silver mirror card. It's hard to see that.
Linda said thanks for the metallic layers. Before she puts the cards together, she pulled out some word dies and did some cutting in the middle of them.
Oh, that's a super good idea.
Yeah, that is a great idea. Is that your favorite trimmer, Sarah?
No, actually not.
What's your favorite trimmer, Sarah?
My favorite trimmer is the big heavy one that I can't lift in the office.
Oh, that's my, oh, that,
That's
yeah.
my mom's trimmer.
I gave her 2 of those.
But
Oh.
it's not convenient for in my stamp room. It's too heavy. Okay, so now we have our brush blended layer. And this should be pretty dry. So I am going to be the sacrificial lamb. I'm going to take my finger across it. Yep, it's dry.
Well, stop it.
Oh, that's a good idea to cut the center out so you can use that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a good idea, Melinda, to take it ahead of time and
I'll be right back.
cut some words out of there. Okay, so now I'm going to punch out my words. Okay. So we have our warm winter wishes. I'm going to use my micro dot adhesive to attach these. I, if you haven't noticed, like to double stack my words. If you don't want to double stack your words, then you have an extra set of words. I think I forgot the gems for that. I remembered the big gems. I forgot these 2 gems right there. I remember the big gems for the poinsettia. Those are in one of the poinsettia kits. But yes, so you're going to have to dot your I's either by saving them or use a gem. I should have done my homework. That's okay. All right, then we have our silver mirror card one. And yes, the eyes are on there, so you can save your eyes or you can use gems. I personally like to use gems versus the little dots. And I offset mine by just a little bit. So I layered the silver on the black and then I just offset it a hair. Definitely make sure you have clean hands when you're working on with your mirror card. And if you're waiting for me, we can go ahead, or you can go ahead and weed out your warm winter wishes for your other blue card. We're going to go on and do our Merry Christmas brush blended one just to give our stencil butter a little bit more time to dry. There we go. This one was being a little bit of a bugger to get out of there. Okay. Okay, so now we're going to get our microdot adhesive out. Oh, forgot my warm. Okay, I do like to put my silver onto my black first. So I take my wishes and I just kind of offset it a little bit. And I might have to get a new microdot adhesive sheet. I think I've been saying that for a few weeks now. Just try to keep your hands clean during this part as much as possible.
Where did you get the words, Sarah?
These are ours. These are on our website. If you just type in winter, it'll probably
Winter?
pop up. Yeah, winter. Okay.
Is that Warm Winter Wishes?
Yep, warm winter wishes. And you can put these off-centered, you can put them right in the middle, or you can stagger them. It's up to you. Alrighty, that's our first card done. Yay. Now let's go on to the assembly of our poinsettia.
What kind of sticky paper is that? That's ours too, right?
That's our microdot adhesive, yep. Okay, so for this one, it is the pure gold, the red Mars, and the opal, and then the brush blended opal. So let's just start attaching our layers. I think the longest is doing the die cut words.
Yeah.
So yeah, opal is one of our flash sale items for tonight. See how I did that? Even though I did use two different sizes of opal, I think that 4 by 5 1/4 is this bigger size, and then this one I trimmed down a little.
You didn't do your homework and read all of those?
I did not do my homework. Sorry. Now in your other kit is the gems. You do have 6 gems in one kit and no gems in the other kit. So yeah, you'll have 6 in one. This one's much easier to get out. So again, we're going to stack our words on top of each other with the opal in the back. Okay, and then, now this is a little bit different red. It's red lacquer. It's a little bit darker, so I just wanted that on the front. I know I used Mars on the back, but I just liked this red lacquer. And you really couldn't tell the difference in the red lacquer and the Mars when, as that tiny layer, but as the word I could tell the difference. Before we start our stencil butter ones, we'll go ahead and we'll do the words ahead of time before we even do the layers, because that will give us a little bit more dry time. Okay, so my 2 red ones. Before Friday night's class, I will grab some new microdot adhesive sheets from my room. People ask how long they last. It's really hard to tell. Depends on how much you use them, how big your die cuts are, how much you keep going over them, even when it feels like there's nothing there, like I'm doing. I like to put my Christmas down first, just so then you save room for it.
Where am I? Where are you seeing that?
Seeing what?
Oh, I thought you were repeating the question.
Oh, no. I think these are called typewriter words from Impression Obsession. Okay, so we're almost done with that one. I just need to go into the other one and pull out my gems. And then while I'm in there, I'm going to pull out my Merry and Christmas and get those ready for the next one. I'm also going to pull out my Warm Winter Wishes, and we're going to go ahead and do our words first, just to give us a little bit more dry time. But so my 3 gems are going to go on here. So you need to cut them apart. Get in there. All right. There we go. Yay! Now let's go ahead and do our words. So on this one I did, now, and you can do whatever you want. If you want your gold on the top, you can put your gold on the top. It doesn't really matter. It's totally up to you. I have a feeling that the poinsettia probably dried first because we stippled it on there instead of, or sponged it on there. And I think I put my Christmas tree on there a little bit thicker. Now, if you have it and it's still wet, you can just save it for a little while and not put it together yet, not put that front panel on and your words. If you heat set it, you can heat set it to dry, but it will start to like bubble up. It'll get like air underneath it. So you can, if you want it more dimensional, you can definitely heat it and it may puff up depending on how thick you have it on there. I'm not going to do that if mine is still wet. I'm just going to leave it. But we'll see. We're going to do the words and then we'll go on to our layers and we'll see if they're totally dry. But yeah, it was fun to try something different. Where normally I'm just doing brush blending and some background stamping, and it's hard with it virtual because we can't all stamp a big background stamp. I have to kind of do it for you. But this way you guys could work along with me. And we're going to do backgrounds and silhouettes on Thursday, so that'll be a stamping class. Tomorrow we will be doing the Flip It card, the Turkey card, and the Autumn Leaves card. The Flip It card and the Peekaboo Shutter card. Okay. So that tomorrow will be part 2 of our fun folds. Oops.
Can you use the heat tool to help dry, Sarah?
You can, and if it's just on there as a thin layer, it won't bubble up, it'll just dry it. If you have it on thick, it will start to bubble it up. So you can use a heat tool to dry it. So I will probably pull my heat tool out because if it's not dry. I have a feeling that my poinsettia is dry.
Jean Scholler says, I usually tell Mitra that Sarah did it again.
Did what again?
I don't know.
Oh.
Jean, what did you mean? That was 25 minutes ago she said that. That was on the other page.
See, my my poinsettia, if I turn it over, it is dry. So I think because I had it on there so thin. So I'm going to go ahead and assemble my poinsettia card. Now remember, you have an extra an extra piece in here. Remember, because you have an extra top in case you wanted to.
Oh, the discount code is what she was talking about.
Oh. Text inserts. This is a good thing to know. There's a text insert in there. When I'm attaching a text insert, I like to put adhesive on my card on both sides of the score. I like to hold that at like a 90-degree angle with it folded and just kind of set that right into the score. And then fold it down. Then it's attached just in this middle section. And it's not buckly. So it stays in there and it's not buckly. If you put tape on the whole thing and you put your text insert in there, you tend to get buckling in there. So that's my little trick for not getting buckling. I'm going to attach this layer. Yeah, Mitra's actually on vacation right now. That's why we're not doing anything like together. But I asked her if she would do a coupon code. So while she was on vacation, she did a coupon code for me. So
That was nice.
that was very nice of her to take time out of her relaxing vacation to show us all some love. So now, get your little sniblets off of there, because when I turned mine over on my little fuzz, it like got on there, and I don't like that.
More technical term.
Yeah.
Snibbles.
Sniblets. I love that. On the antique, that red stencil butter.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that is beautiful. And it was probably hard to tell how pretty it was until you guys are doing it. Like, because I think it's way prettier in person than seeing it on a camera. So I hope you think it's just as pretty as I do.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so we have our 2 poinsettia ones done. Yay!
Oh, that Merry Christmas looks so nice on there, Sarah.
Oh,
on
doesn't
camera.
it just pop?
Yeah, looks really nice.
Okay, we are down to our last card, which is that one. Oh, here's my kit. Remember, you do have an extra piece of paper. If you did Stencil Butters, you have an extra piece of white. So you can do whatever you want with that. Or you used it for brush blending. Okay, homework. I should have done my homework, but oh well. You guys get to watch me on camera. Hope you're having fun so far this week. Maybe next time you could come do in person and virtual.
Oh, we're coming out to the other side of this pandemic, so yeah, next year will be a whole different story, maybe. Having a great time. Thank you, Melinda.
I'm going to have to, after we're done with class, I'm going to see if you guys blew up my website with the flash sales. That's what you could be doing while I'm putzing with my weeding.
You could shop.
Yeah, you could shop.
Some already did.
Now on this one, yeah, this one I have the white in the front and the silver behind. And then we are all done. Yay, Penny.
Yay, Penny.
Yeah, these cards I don't think presented as well, like just with the pictures, as they do in person. So yeah.
Thank you, Bernice. She just finished ordering.
Nice.
Penny did too.
All right.
Can you?
Let's see if I can find a microdot adhesive sheet that actually has dots on it. Oh, this is my new one, I think. Okay. I should actually date my sheets because I have multiple ones here because I can't find one. Then I get a new one and I should date them so I know which one is the oldest.
That would be too easy.
I know.
If you are ordering, don't forget to check the appropriate shipping if you ordered yesterday.
Yep.
If this is your second or more order,
Click the add-on shipping.
add-on.
I forgot to say that. But if you did click regular shipping and not the add-on, you could always the next day just pick up at warehouse. So then maybe it'll even itself out. I just love the little bit of silver behind there. All right, now the true test. Whether this one is, actually I think it's dry, people.
Are there any of these kits
They are
available
dry.
without the stencil since we already have them?
I don't have a code for that, but go ahead and email me. Because yes, that would be a good thing to offer. So maybe I can, well, let me see if I remember to do that tonight, but somebody email me, who was ever asking about that.
Rebecca Sievers.
Okay, email me and then I'll remember to do it. Because I can go on and I can change it so then you can order it with stencils or without. That would actually be really good. But between driving, between here and home, I might forget because I'm not going to do it here. I kind of want to get home.
So please email Sarah and she'll fix the website later, right?
Yes, so then you can order the paper only kit. Good idea. Because I do have extra paper kits of this. I do have extra kits all the way around of this one, so. But the item will look the same, and then it'll just have two options. So before, when you just put added to cart,
With or
now you'll
without.
have to make a choice.
Yep. With or without stencils.
Yeah.
Come on, Sarah, do it tonight.
I might do it tonight, but let me get home, please. I'm not going to do it here tonight. I've been here since early.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, I'll go home, I'll sit in front of the TV, and I'll work. How's that? So yeah, mine was dry. So there we did. We did it. We used a new medium.
Barb is sassy.
I love them.
Ooh, I do too.
So that is our holiday stencil class. Kits are still available. I will get the kits posted.
With or without a beverage, Sarah.
I don't have any beverages at home, so it'll just be water tonight for me. That's all I can have so I can get my work done. So, anyways, thanks for joining me tonight, guys, and we will see you tomorrow. Same time, same channel, 6 o'clock. Bye, guys.